Hello everybody, my name is the Ink Boy and welcome back to my channel. Today, for the first time ever, I am reviewing an item in Second Life. Also, this is the first Second Life video I've posted in a while, so I'm sorry for those of you who subscribe to my channel based off my Second Life content. I'm going to try to put some more out there. It seems like a lot of you really enjoy that. So yeah. Anyways, let's get into this review. This is going to be a review of the controversial Legacy body. Now, the reason why this body is controversial and people are jumping to a lot of opinions and conclusions on this really quick is because this body is made by the same people that made the Mesh Project body. Now, the Mesh Project body was the very first body that came out, the very first mesh body that came out, I should say, for the Mel avatar. When it came out, it was awesome. Things were going really well. They dropped a dev kit for it really quick. They dropped everything for it really quick. It was going really smooth. But after so long, it seems like they kind of just stopped releasing updates for it, and it just seemed to be very stagnant for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, they're like, hey guys, have a bento version of the body. And that did pretty well. Some people hopped back over to the TMP body. But then, not too long after, here we are today, as of 4/29/2019, with the Legacy body. And some people are like, didn't you just release a bento version of the body that you didn't like update for a while, not that long ago, and now you want another 5K from us? Like, what's going on? Well, with that aside, I can tell you that, one, I bought this body with my own 5K lindens. I'm not a blogger. I paid every single of linden of the 5K lindens for this, which is about 20 American dollars. I also had the original Mesh Project body and had an experience with that until the aesthetic body came out, and then I've been maining the aesthetic body in between the other newer bodies that come out. I always tend to go back to my aesthetic body because while it is a very big body and it's not for everyone, it is so detailed. It looks so nice. Like, a lot of care had been put into that body. I'm not saying, the other bodies that have a lot of care and all that stuff put into them or that they look bad. It's just that the abs are defined on the aesthetic body. The arms are, like, modeled correctly. They don't look like two connected sausages. The chest looks good. Like, that body is a very high quality, so that's why I stick with it, because it looks good. The only downside is that body, people don't really make clothes for it because it's more of a bodybuilder body, and not every guy wants to be that huge, so people tend to always make clothes for Beliza or Signature, and that's fine. The Beliza body is actually my go-to body when I feel like I want to wear clothes that everyone else is wearing. The problem is that I can't get it as big as I want it to be, so I'm hoping this body will be my new go-to body. Like, I'll probably still hop back to the aesthetic every now and then, especially if there's like an update for it, but I really want to get to a body where I can just wear whatever clothes I want like everyone else. I don't have to worry about did Legal Insanity release something new? Did Cox, C-O-X, did they release something new for the body, for aesthetic? There's only a few designers that releases things for it. So anyways, I'm going to let you know if this body is worth your 5K lindens in its current state, or if you should wait, or if you should just pass it up altogether. I'm going to let you know about that. And that's the very first thing I'm going to let you know, because you probably don't want to sit around and figure out how to work this body if you're not going to buy it in the first place, right? So let me go ahead and give you the cons so you can go ahead and make an educated decision on it. The cons are, of course, as I stated at the beginning of this video, this is by the same people that made the Mesh Project body that, did some kind of questionable things marketing wise. Of course, they also did some really good things that I want to point out though really quick. They had a very innovative HUD. The style HUD was like fantastic. You could install styles to it, like tattoos, body hair, all that stuff. You never had to like take the plier out again to use it. It was all right there in your HUD. Like, that was really innovative. No one else has done that since. They were the first ones to bring the mesh body out for the guys out, and if you've been on Second Life long enough, you should remember this, because every guy looked the same for about 5 months. We all had the same mesh head, we all had the same mesh body, until something new came out. So yeah, they do have a lot of good things about them, but like I said, their history kind of deters people. I understand. But yeah, so that's a con, obviously. The next con is going to be, everyone's been pointing out this neck issue. And it is an issue. They need to fix this. It's not super terrible, and it's kind of like, it's livable to an extent. And they did try to correct this with like pliers in the 1.1 update of this body. They included some catwall pliers so that you could fade your neck in to the body, and it kind of sort of works if you like look at it from this far back, but up close you still get this really weird line going through. So they need to figure out how to fix that. It could be user error at this point, but I applied the neck fader and I have the body fader on as well, and it's just not clearing that line up. But to be honest, it doesn't really bother me that much. I'm not the freaking body police on Second Life. There's a lot of people that are, but I'm not one of them. So yeah, if that's going to be a deal breaker for you, that is still happening as of the time I'm uploading this video. The next thing is, of course, there are no dev kits out for this body yet. There's no pliers out for this body. There's no clothes out for this body. Now you'll notice that I have a tattoo on this body, and I'll explain that in a moment. But as of just like base user, are there pliers? Are there any kits out? No. However, the 1.1 update that just came out, they did include scripts for like mesh items, and they basically said use these scripts in your own custom items or something like that. I seen a bunch of scripts in mesh, and I jumped out of that folder because I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing in here and what this stuff is for. Obviously, it's outside of my area of expertise, but that leaves me to believe they're on their way to releasing a dev kit for this finally. And granted, this body is in early access and it hasn't been out that long. That's why you're watching this video, is because you're like, should I get this in its early state, right? The next thing, of course, is because there's no dev kit, there's no clothes. So you kind of have to work with what you got. From what I found, the Beleza Jake clothes seem to work the best with this body. Like, front on, it looks like these shorts were made for this body. In the back, there's a little bit of some Bouticus situation going on, and I might be able to fix that. In fact, let's just see if I can fix that, right? Let me go to appearance, edit shape. Maybe I just need to give myself a little bit more of a tuchus to fix that little situation. Let's just find out. No, not really. It's just kind of making everything else look weird. So we'll put that back to where it was. So yeah, that's fine. But I mean, a lot of people probably won't even be looking right there. They're probably just gonna be looking at your dude from head on. Now, as I said, there are the body police on here. They're going to call you out on that, so just be ready for that. Trust me, people already have. But for the most part, you can kind of get most Beleza Jake clothes, from my experience, at least shorts and pants, to work on this body. I haven't really played around with the tops that much yet. We do get some clipping through here, and that can be modified a little bit, and I can show you how to do that. But it's not to the point to where I'm like, ooh, I need to throw these whole pair of shorts away. So, yeah, that's pretty much the cons that I can think of currently. And of course, the price point. That's a very steep price for someone, the average person on Second Life. it's if this is going to be something you use for a long time, like a couple of years, 5K is probably not going to, or even hell, even a few months at this point, because there's a new body releasing every 6 months. If you're going to be using this body until the next greatest and best thing comes out, the 5K might even be worth it. But if you're just getting it to try it, the 5K is definitely not something you want to, put your money on. With that said, if you are an average Second Life user, should you spend the 5K on this body? I'm going to say maybe. Make your own educated decision. I'm trying to give you the tools to do that. This is why I say maybe, right? Your perspective of the average Second Life user could be different from mine, right? People that get on this game and are like hardcore into it, they love to look good, they ride the hype train, they get any body that comes out so they can look the greatest. Like, if it looks as good as this body looks, and trust me, this body looks good, and I'll get more into it later, those people, it's probably good. The 5K will probably be worth it. Like, the 5K doesn't mean anything to them as long as they can get this body and look good. I'm one of those people. Okay, this body looks fantastic, and the 5K, even with the weird neckline thing going on, is worth it to me. If you're a person who you're really happy with your current mesh body, you don't really keep up on the events too much, you're kind of happy with shopping on the marketplace, nothing wrong with that. But if you're one of those people where you just don't really care that much, hold off on buying this body until at least the dev kits are out. If you feel you look good currently and you're not too pressed about, being extra, then don't be extra. Just live your best life without this body. Another thing that might be something to look into if you're looking into getting this body is if you're a person that you know how to make your own tattoos, this body could be something that might interest you. I'll show you why. But you can basically, even if there's no dev kits out, you can apply your own textures to it. So that's kind of cool. That might make it a little bit more worth it to you. And then lastly, if you put a lot of money into the original TMP body and got a heck ton of skins and tattoos and body hairs and all that fun stuff. I'm talking about like the male body, of course. I don't know if this carries over the same with the female body, but the HUD did carry over all my old styles from when I originally had my very first TMP body. So they all carried over, they're all here, and I can apply them. That's why I have this tattoo on right now. So if you already have a lot of money into the original TMP body and you're like, dang, I'm kind of sad I spent all that money on all these tattoos and things for this body, I'm never going to use them again. Well, you could use them again now. So that might, help with your decision on this. Now, currently, I do not know how those are loaded into here. It's some magic that they did on the back end. I don't know. It's some witchcraft. I've tried to buy appliers and install them, and they don't install onto the style HUD. I'm assuming they probably install on the original style HUD and then they carry over into this HUD. So weird backward stuff, or it's some information stored in the server. I don't know. I just know that when I clicked on the style portion of this HUD out of the box when I got this body, that stuff was there. Okay, I don't know how they got there, so I don't know how to add old TMP stuff to this, but that stuff is there. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into kind of the positive things about this body. First and foremost, if you're going to buy this body, or you're not quite sure if you should buy this body, the cons didn't necessarily kill it for you, but they didn't necessarily clear it for you either, right? Here's some positive things about it. First of all, this body, let me go back in here. This body has 4 layers on it that you can hide and apply to individually, at least from what it seems, from what I can tell, right? That's really cool for guys, at least, because sometimes there's a really nice skin out there and we'll get it, and it doesn't come with body hair, so we have to go and get a body hair applier. But on some bodies, like if you apply a body hair, you can't apply a tattoo. It like takes away that layer. So that's really cool. This has 4 layers, and you can hide them. So I have the tattoo on this first layer here. I can click to hide it. Maybe. There we go. It's on the second layer. JK. I can click to hide it, and now my tattoo is gone, right? You can also, in theory, apply different tattoos to different layers and take them off and use a different one. You just kind of have them sitting there. I know that's kind of weird because the style HUD is there. You wouldn't really need to do that, but you know what I mean. You got 4 layers to play around with. Now that that layer is off and you can kind of see the body a bit better, yeah, the body looks fantastic. Let's just get a little close up on the body, right? So this body is modeled extremely well. The chest is really nice. The skin they have default on this body is very high quality. The arms are not sausage arms. They took the time to actually kind of model out a bit of muscle here. The arms are not like super flat on one side. They're kind of rounded a little bit more than some other bodies. The arms look really good for a body like this. If we turn to the side, the abs are modeled in as well pretty nicely. The little like V area here, there's a nice like, you know, it's kind of dented in there, which is really nice. Some guys might like that. It's a great looking body. The shoulders and everything, like this area here, that's even pretty natural. It's not just like a straight shoot down. You got like this nice like bump out here a little bit, and then it goes like that, and then it goes up, which adds more tone to the body. So that's really cool. Like those things matter a lot to a guy like me, who I don't want to look like a little skinny dude. I want to look like a fit dude, right? Like I kind of want to be like thick and muscular. I don't want to be little, but to be honest, I want to wear something different than the aesthetic. So this honestly is a pretty good option for me. Like it looks fan-freaking-tastic, right? So another thing is, of course, you get shine options. You get like these weird texture options. Speaking of shine, there's a weird thing with this HUD right here. So this HUD allows you to like play around with some things. This is the advanced material editor HUD. You can make your guys shine and all kinds, like actually glow, I should say. You can make them glow and all that weird stuff. I'm not going to play around with all that today. What I am going to show you is this HUD allows you to apply your own textures. So what you do is you go up here, you click the little plus symbol, and then it says control and drag the texture onto it, and it will apply to whatever layer you have selected. So here I have the first layer selected. If I were to click and drag a texture onto this, it's going to apply it. So that's pretty cool. So if you're worried about not having tattoos, if you're at least able to make tattoos, you can put them on here if you didn't use the previous TMP body. So yeah, what about fitting the clothes though, right? Let's go ahead and talk about that. I'm sorry if this video is extremely long. It looks like we're at 18 minutes currently, so it's gonna be a little lengthy. I apologize, but just buckle up, buckaroo. We'll get through it. So yeah, fitting clothes on this guy. I have discovered that if you play around, let me just take this HUD off. If you play around with the body fat slider on this body, it kind of plays around with how the clothes fit you. So for example, let me see if I can recreate this. Let me go ahead and just put on like my original shape. Ignore my like really awful names for my outfits, but okay, so original shape, you can see that it's cutting through right here, and no matter how small I made the legs, That still kind of like cut through really bad right there. It would also cut through in like different areas. It didn't look right. So what I did was I got in there and I was like, look, I don't want to make my legs super skinny and look like toothpicks. So what else does this? And it's the body fat thing. So we'll go back to here. I added some body fat. It still pokes through right there, but it's more tolerable. And on other like bottoms, like it works fine. So if you go and you get this body and you add the lower deformer and you play with the body fat slider, you'll be able to fit most bottoms. Not all of them. Definitely before you go out and buy a bunch of Beliza Jake clothes for this body, demo it. It's not perfect, but it will, get it to fit. So that's my advice on that. And then what else is there here? Let me put my tattoos back on. Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, there we go. So the actual alpha HUD on this runs very smooth. Let me just spin this around. It runs very smooth. I think there could be some more points here that they could probably add like a section to, but if you just look at this, it's like in real time. You just click and drag down here. That's like crazy. Anything going that fast on Second Life is impressive. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. So yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I think that for the most part concludes my review on this body. My review is final opinion is I like this body. I think for my personal use in my Second Life lifestyle, this body is worth the 5K. But as I stated earlier, if you're kind of like not really riding the hype waves and all that stuff, then just kind of hold off on it. Hopefully this video helps you make a decision, and I look forward to the dev kits coming out for this body, because there's going to be so many cool things coming out for this once that drops. I can't wait to see the different skins coming out for this and all that stuff. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, drop a comment if you have a question, and I'd be more than happy to answer it for you. Or if you need help in world with this body, let me know. I can help you with that as well. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. See ya.